Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Mexico City Diablos and the San Francisco.
We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Mexico City Diablos and the San Francisco 49ers. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
First down throw for Prescott. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the first play of the game. 55 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On play action, Prescott under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Here's Prescott. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Devin Funchess, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll run on first down. Milner, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. A good pickup there, a 22.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
Flushed out right. That's going to be caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. From 3 yards out, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A look at the numbers for Mack from last week. 18 carries, 67 yards.
And that explosive run right there reminds me that last week ran the ball really well, so they're continuing to do what they did in the previous game, run the ball and run it successfully.
He's got daylight. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Marlon Mack, his first touchdown of the new season, and the 49ers have now taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. A look now at the defensive starting lineup for the 49ers. And they're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 40.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Watson. Flush to his right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, he'll force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Throwing on third down, Watson. And the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. Marlon Mack with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized that.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
This is taken at his 4. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that?
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. Breaks through the contact. Sheds another. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Prescott. Anderson a first down and more. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And did he get in? No. Down at the 1-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score.
Down to lose 1.
Prescott from the gun. He completes this one to Mack. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. So here are visitors to take over on offense. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, Milner. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Pass interference. Defense.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... That's caught inside the 20. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. Powerful running. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. And he's... The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Found his target, it's Anderson. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. Prescott now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On second down, here's a run with Mack. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. The Niners on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 9. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. So here are visitors to take over on offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They go play action here on first down. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Forced out to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Thomas has got it, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 12-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's Watson. And it's caught. Touchdown. Kiki QT. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. They've sort of epitomized balance. I mean, he's thrown the ball pretty well. They've run the ball well. Got to be pretty happy over on that sideline.
Takes a lot of pressure off, doesn't it? As much as those guys back there want to throw the ball around and be the focal point, when you're able to run it well, and hold the defense back from the pass rush, it allows you to throw it as well as we're seeing so far in this game.
Yeah, now they'll be looking to add to their lead here in the second quarter. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Prescott. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess, and it's 3rd and short. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now Prescott. They'll run the screen with Mack. Powering his way forward. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go.
And again, it's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing, Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped.
That's how we do it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 3rd down, a run by Mack. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So, well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Back to throw, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. To throw is Watson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. From the gun, here's Watson. And it's caught. Touchdown. Jordan Thomas, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Robbie Anderson making his way back onto the field. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game.
And the pressure gets to him again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are visitors to take over on offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. And now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Watson now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
He had no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. Call it a gain of 2 as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here in Santa Clara. All even as we get ready to start the 4th.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Right there. 54. Right there. 54.
They'll keep it on the ground. Milner. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Now it's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run forward with Penny. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Escaping the pressure right. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They chalked that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Waters. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
On 2nd down now, it's Waters, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Prescott on 4th down. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Robbie Anderson His second touchdown on the season, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. Precision, precision, precision. That's the definition of it right there. Great pass, great catch for the score.
Yeah, people talk about arm strength all the time. Well, if you're not precise and you're not accurate, the arm strength really doesn't matter. We saw a little bit of everything with that throw.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
7 yards there on the first down screen play. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Now Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. Watson now to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had, because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That can finish things off for them.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the 50, it's Watson. And Thomas has it. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Open man is QT complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it gutsy type of a throw. Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. A gain of 13, it's a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Watson. Over the middle, it's Thomas. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 yards there, first down.
We can't be totally sure that that was by design, but we do know that a lot of kickers like the ball in the right hash in order to kick the field goal.
Right back to him on first down. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And they're going to get the timeout called. What a finish. We're down to 4 seconds to go in this football game. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. His first attempt of the afternoon, and it's for the win. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for our visitors, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.